Welcome to the Metalhead Woodshed. I'm Cody. Thanks for watching. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I made this workbench vise with two adjustable knobs. I think it's commonly known as a moxon vise. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on how I fabricated it, assembled it, attached it to the bench. The soundtrack for this video is provided by Relic out of Nebraska. Relic and Roll. Great band, classic heavy metal. And so let's dig in. But first things first, let's get a rundown of the materials needed. Alright, next up I'm going to show you where I'm doing the markings for this vise. You'll see this is a 24-inch piece like we talked about. So I did 8 inches in from each side, so 8 and 16. I did 2 1/16 down from the top of where the workbench is. If you're looking over here, this bench is kind of, it's kind of thin actually. So this is only about a 4 and an 1/8, 4 inches and an 1/8. So I split the difference for the 2 and a 16th down. So what I'm going to do now, drill through with the 5/8 Forstner bit to match what my threaded rod size will be, and then we'll go from there. But I never thought that she would be the fair possessor to take my soul from me. So now with the threaded rod holes drilled on both of these vise pieces, what I did, I marked out, so this is the piece that's actually going to go against the bench, and it's going to get drilled, and so I marked out placement for some 5/16 hex bolts, and this is 3.5 down, or this is 3.5 down, this is 1.5 down, 6 inches in on both sides. It should give plenty of room for where we gotta put in the, make room for the nuts to accept the threaded rod. But basically what I'll do, I'll drill the 5/16 holes, and then I'll use a size up Forstner bit so that they'll be recessed here, so these will move in, whenever it attaches to the workbench. But that's my next move. She will come as an angel, radiance and beauty so bright, her very touch will flood your mortal mind. The next step I'm going to take is to align this thing with my bench and basically mark the holes where I'm going to be drilling. Wanted to make sure it's flush over here, flush up top, and I'll just go in here and use my punch. One, two, let's see, 3 and 4. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll now take my drill and drill those holes. Getting pretty close. Once I mount this thing onto the bench, that's when I'll mark my threaded rod holes, then I'll drill those. And there you see a mock-up. So this is what it's going to look like. You'll see that there are threaded nuts here on the outside. I'm actually going to take 2 of these nuts and put them right here. I'm going to insert them into the wood, and then these will turn. I'll put some epoxy here, and so that way the nuts turn the threaded rod and they'll screw inwards through the nuts that are right here. So now I'm going to work on putting the epoxy on these and then digging this out so that they can accept these threaded nuts. Right on. So you see I've got this vise now mounted to my bench. It's different than probably what you were seeing before. I have the 1x6s on the inside and the outside like I did before. But what was going on, I was screwing these threaded rods into the nut that I had inserted into these 1x6s. But I was having the damnedest time getting those threaded nuts to stay in there. I tried some 2-part epoxy. I tried some liquid nails, just wouldn't stick in there, especially this left one when I really torqued on it. And so I think the culprit, if I had to admit it, is that I don't think I chiseled out the recesses quite clean enough on this side, and maybe there's a little extra space, so that meant maybe not as good a surface connection for the epoxy or the liquid nails to hold. Whatever the case may be, it sucked. So what I did, I took some 1/2-inch ply and basically cut it down to the same size as the vise, 24 inches long, 5 3/8 vertical, and I screwed some holes in it, countersinked the holes, and I attached it. I did it for both sides because this ply has a pretty good, flat surface. It's pretty even. Even though I planed the 1x6s, it still looked kind of sucky. So that was good to give it both an even face, and then especially on this side, by having this faceplate affixed, those threaded nuts aren't going anywhere.
She's the devil's daughter, sent to hell into your mind. You're gonna meet her all in due time. Coming to you in a nightmare, one that you can never wake. On earth for you and all to stay. Hey! Hey!
Right on. Okay, so here you see the completed project. Threw on some paint, gave him a little face and some teeth, and did some, forgive my workbench, it's filthy. I was doing some drum stuff. So here you see I got everything epoxied on, and I did get that I didn't say it before, but I used the dowel rod, and then I epoxied that onto the hex bolt so it swings freely. So it's just like that. And then, whenever you close it up, got a little mouth. Isn't that cute? Hey, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it very much. Had a lot of fun building this, and there was some room for learning, but I got something added to my workshop that I've needed for quite a while. You know, you very well can find something more refined version of what I've done here, but you know, it does what I need it to do, and you know, it kind of matches the aesthetic and the personality of the old spearhead woodshed. So that's what it's all about. Find something that that you can do and make it fit your style. I want to thank Relic and Roll for providing the soundtrack for this video. That song is awesome. I appreciate those guys very much. And you know, go out there, support the scene, support those guys. If you see them at a show, try and out-chug Nolan in a beer chugging competition and fail miserably. And so thanks to those guys. I did update the Metalhead Woodshed Spotify playlist. It's always out there. The link's in the description. Check it out. Always adding new music. I'm looking for new music to get into. So if you have suggestions, send them to me at metalheadwoodshed@gmail.com. I'm always looking for new bands. So if you got somebody that may want to have their music demonstrated in a video like this, send them my way. Otherwise, until then, keep rocking.
But I only met her. I never thought that she would be the fair possessor.